Can you actually buy a house with no money down? I mean, for real? It sounds like something from a late night infomercial, right? Well, today we're going to give you the actual step-by-step roadmap to make it happen. Let's jump right in.
So let's just get right to the heart of it. Is buying a home with $0 down a total myth, a marketing gimmick? A lot of people think it is, and honestly, I don't blame them. The idea of getting keys to a house without a giant pile of cash saved up sounds way too good to be true, but the reality is going to surprise you.
Here's the thing. For most people who dream of owning a home, the biggest hurdle isn't making the monthly mortgage payment. Nope. It's scraping together that mountain of cash you need for the down payment and all the closing costs. That initial number is the wall that stops so many people dead in their tracks.
But what if I told you there are these sort of secret tools designed to completely blow that wall down? And these aren't some sketchy loopholes. They're legit government-backed programs that make a zero-down home purchase absolutely possible. Let's look at the two big ones.
Okay, first up, the USDA Rural Development Loan. Now, I know what you're thinking when you hear the word rural. You're picturing a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere, right? But hang with me here, because this loan's definition of rural is probably a lot bigger than you think.
The big flashing headline here is, of course, 0% down, which is just incredible. But the real kicker for a lot of folks is that this isn't just for farms. Tons of suburban areas and small towns actually qualify. Now, there are some income limits, and it has to be the house you live in. But this program is an absolute game changer for so many people.
All right, our second powerhouse tool is the VA home loan. And let me just say, this is a truly amazing benefit for those who've served our country. It's honestly one of the best zero-down options on the planet.
So again, you've got that beautiful 0% down payment right at the top. But the really crucial part here is that last bullet point, no private mortgage insurance, or PMI. See, on most loans, if you put down less than 20%, you get hit with this extra monthly fee that can be hundreds of dollars. With a VA loan, poof, it's gone. That's a massive, massive long-term saving.
Okay, so we know the tools are out there. Great. But how do you actually use them? Knowing about a USDA or VA loan is one thing, but actually getting to the closing table with one, that takes a real plan. So let's break it down.
All right, here is your playbook boiled down into 5 critical steps. First, get your money situation in order. You're aiming for a credit score of at least 620, and try to keep your debt-to-income ratio in a good spot. Then, and this is so important, find a lender who actually specializes in these loans. Get pre-approved, which is way stronger than pre-qualified. After that, you hire a fantastic agent and start looking for homes that actually meet the loan standards.
I really have to hammer this point home. When you're trying to do a zero-down purchase, your real estate agent is not just a tour guide. They are your chief strategist. They have to know the property rules inside and out, understand the specific contract language, and, most importantly, they have to be a shark when it comes to negotiating for you.
And this is exactly what we're talking about. A review like this shows you what a difference a great team makes. It's not just about being friendly. It's about having an expert in your corner who you can trust to handle these really complex deals. That's the support you need.
So, we've figured out the down payment problem. But what about all those other fees at closing? This is where we get to the masterstroke. This is the final piece of the puzzle that helps you walk away from that closing table with truly minimal cash out of your own pocket. The magic phrase here is seller concessions. This is a fancy term for a simple idea. Your agent negotiates for the seller to pay for some or even all of your closing costs. We're talking title fees, loan fees, prepaid taxes, all that stuff. It's a standard part of negotiating a real estate deal. And I want to be crystal clear here. This isn't some weird trick that only works once in a blue moon. This is a real strategy that good agents use every single day to make deals happen for their buyers. It's happening right now as we speak. So let's look at this number, $3,500. What in the world is that? Well, it's a real-world example. That was the exact amount a seller was offering to pay toward the buyer's closing cost on an actual home for sale in Bella Vista, Arkansas. This is proof positive that sellers are willing to chip in, which directly lowers the amount of cash you need to bring to the table. Okay, we've covered a ton of ground on how to make this happen with as little cash as possible. But it's time for a really important reality check, just so you're 100% prepared for what's ahead. Nothing down does not mean no cash whatsoever. There are still a few upfront costs you're gonna have to plan for. There's the earnest money deposit to show you're serious.
the fee for a home inspection, which you absolutely should get, the appraisal fee, and of course the cost of actually moving your stuff. So here is the bottom line, the most important thing to remember from all of this. A nothing down strategy is really a minimal cash strategy. By using the right loan and having a smart negotiator on your side, you can take the cash you need from, say, $20,000 or $30,000 all the way down to just a few thousand. It puts homeownership back in reach.
So there you have it. The path is there. The tools exist. The strategy works. And that dream of owning a home is way more accessible than you probably thought. The myth is officially busted. You have the roadmap. So the only question left is, where are you going to let it take you?